Hey guys, Nuie here, and we are back again with my first build theory video for the 3.0 PoE patch. Now, before I hop into that and cover everything that I want to do with that, the first thing I want to do is give a shout out to two of my viewers. The first one being HS. He's been great. He's been talking to me about my build theory series, and he's been enjoying it, so I want to give him a shout out because I really appreciate him taking the time to talk to me and to give me his comments and thoughts on it. And I know as a content creator, we create content for large amounts of people, but I really don't want to be a content creator who forgets people who really take the time to comment on my videos. I love that very much, so I just wanted to say thank you to him for everything that he said and everything that and I want to continue creating content for people like him who enjoy it and see where I'm trying to do and can take inspiration from what I'm trying to do. So that's the first person I want to talk about, and the second one is Victor Fatal. Now, the reason I am giving a shout out to Victor Fatal is because he informed me of another program called Path of Building, which I will be using for the first time in this video, which is basically just another tree. It's another tree thing, or tree builder, basically, that allows me to not only see the skill tree and see like valid connections between builds and stuff. It also allows me to drag in my character's actual gear, and then I can actually get a better estimate of my damage and stuff based off of that. I can also grab all the skills and stuff I wanted to use for that, so I can really get a even deeper look into all of my skills and how I want to really develop my character. And I loved it. I'm loving it so far. I'll leave a link to downloading that in the description below, but I definitely am loving both these programs. The only thing I don't like about it so far is that it doesn't give me the rough numbers, so that's why I'm both using PoE Planner and it, because PoE Planner allows me to see the rough numbers and the rough rundown, whereas PoE Planner is better at, or PoE Path of Building is better at showing the actual damage numbers and all the calculations for that and stuff. So those will be my new combination between these two, so when I create these videos now, I'll be using both of these to integrate more into what I want to do for my builds. But hopping into the 3.0 patch, I currently have 3 builds in mind that I am looking into to create for starting out in my 3.0 in the 3.0 new Harbinger League. The first one is called my Shadow Throw build. This is the newest one I've made, and it's a little bit different than what I've been using before, but towards the end of the Legacy League, I have been playing around with Spectral Throw, and I was enjoying it, so I wanted to see how it fares towards endgame. I didn't really level out that character. I was just spending my time on my God of Warp character because he was able to reach maps, he was able to clear Merciless Malachi and Merciless Azaro, so that build has been really fun. I was heading through the endgame endgame labyrinth, but unfortunately I didn't find all the labyrinth places, so I'll have to try that out in this patch. But yeah, heading into this, first build is Spectral Throw. It's a Spectral Throw build, but I'm naming it the Shadow Throw build because, one, I'm running it off the Shadow, and if you guys are aware, the 3.0 Shadow was kind of buffed, so I'm really want to play into that. The other 2 builds are my Raumuku build, which is a Shockwave Totem build. It's got heavy crit, and it's got a large amount of spell damage, so that's my other build that I'm thinking about. And the final build that I'm looking at is my Caustic Arrow build. I've been playing through Caustic Arrow a little bit between these last couple days of Legacy and the last couple days leading up to this patch. I've been playing with Caustic Arrow. I've been enjoying that, so I made a build specialized for that. So those will be one of those 3 builds. Will be one of the builds that I start off with the league with. I'm not sure which one yet. You guys will have to find out next Monday is when you guys will find out what build I actually started out with, because that is when the first episode of my 3.0 playthrough will be up on my channel. So you guys will have to wait for that. But heading right into this build, I'm going to cover my Shadow Throw build today because that is the build that I made most recently. Now, looking at it first, this is my talent tree off of PoE Planner. So, basically, what this build requires is the first thing I wanted to try out in 3.0 was the damage that I could do with poison, because as I was looking at the new skill tree, I've noticed so many different poison nodes, and all of the extra damage over time nodes, as well as all the chaos damage nodes that are offered to Shadow. As I have stated before, Shadow is my favorite class, so I really wanted to take advantage of that and try out just how much damage I could actually get from my poison. But I also wanted to try out Spectral Throw, and I felt like Spectral Throw would be a great way to add poison because it does the first initial hit, which should poison, and then I'm thinking that on the way back it will also poison on the way back, so that I'll get 2 effects of the poison, and then I'll get the added chaos damage of that damage over time. So I'll get a large amount of damage over time, as well as throwing out multiple blades and poisoning the entire area. So that's the kind of thought process I went through with this. And then I noticed all the different health nodes. So all the different health nodes as well as energy shields. So I'm more leaning towards making a character, because from what I've seen, looking at patch notes and stuff, energy shield got a little bit weakened, but so life is a little bit stronger. So I'm kind of running, but I kind of want to run a build in between those two. So I'm taking a lot of health nodes, but I'm also taking some energy shield nodes, also for resistances, because a lot of the energy shield nodes and evasion nodes I have are also offer me large amounts of elemental resist. So I ended up just grabbing all of those. So I ended up picking up all of these melding nodes for extra health and then extra energy shield, and then I got Written in Blood for extra health and extra energy shield. And then I ended up just grabbing 3 jewel sockets, a lot of chaos damage, a lot of physical damage, and then I'm running claws because my favorite weapon is claws. I do like daggers, and I know daggers can give large amounts of crit, but I feel like because I'm going to be playing the Trickster, which is my favorite Shadow class, I feel like claws is better for me because I won't be getting the crit is not exactly the same. I feel like dagger crit is a little bit higher, so that's more specified for like assassin. So I feel like Trickster is a little bit better with claws. Now I'm gonna be running a lot of frenzy charges, so that'll amplify my damage from Spectral Throw as well. And I'm also running a couple power charges because the change that I saw the most recently, instead of just grabbing 1 frenzy charge off of your passive, which I'll show when I switch over to Path of Building, you also gain a power charge. So now I'm adding an extra power charge, as well as 2 extra frenzy charges and 3 extra frenzy charges when it gets down to it from that tree as well, and also 1 extra power charge. So in total I should get 5 power charges and 6 frenzy charges throughout the duration of fights and stuff. So that'll really amplify my damage, and then I want to get my poison damage out, so obviously I'm doing a ton of damage over time. And then I just have a bunch of chaos damage because poison deals chaos damage, so the more chaos damage I get, the more amplified I can do with that. So that's my basic thoughts with this build. I am running 4 jewel sockets this time instead of 3. That is because I can grab the extra projectile damage node here, because Spectral Throw is a projectile damage build, or a projectile when it comes down to its damage overall. I debated on grabbing this, but projectile actually automatically pierces, so there's no need to grab anything for piercing or anything like that. It automatically goes through and comes back. So it didn't feel like it was necessary to grab, so I just grabbed the extra projectile damage and then the extra jewel socket there. I'm also grabbing a jewel socket here, and as well as up here. So I have several jewel sockets available to me, so I can add extra chaos damage. I could get probably things like extra claw damage, extra one-handed damage, extra damage over time, things like that. Is the kind of jewel sockets I'll be looking for in this new league to be able to augment this character very well. Now, I'm going to switch over to my PoE planner, or my Path of Building. I'm gonna switch over to Path of Building now, so I can head over there and show you guys. As you can see, I have all my builds already set up here. So I have my Shadow Throw build here, my Cloud Strafe build, which is my Caustic Cloud build. I'm not totally certain if I'm going to be doing just a Caustic Cloud, so to just be doing chaos damage, but I also thought about making that Caustic Cloud integrate poison as well, so that it won't just do chaos damage, it'll also do the chaos damage from poison, so it'll do both the chaos damage over time just from Caustic Arrow, and then also add poison as I'm doing that Caustic Arrow, and then I'll do even more damage over time. So I'm debating between those two. I really have to find out just how strong poison really is, and I'm definitely leaning towards that. And then I also have my Ramuka build, and then I have a couple extra builds that are just here. But the one I'm focused on here is my Shadow Throw build, so we're headed back into that. As you can see, the tree is all the same. But this is the major difference that I saw. Sorry. This is the major difference. This is the change to Swift Killer, which gives 1 maximum frenzy charge and 1 power charge. So both of those charges increase damage over time, which means my poison will do more damage because of the added frenzy charges and power charges. So I'll get 5 power. Again, I have 5 power charges and 6 frenzy charges. So in total, that is roughly 50% more damage over time, somewhere around there. In total, I think, because the 5% is 25, and then extra 20, yeah, so roughly 50% damage over time from those, if that's done correctly. I'm not entirely certain on how that will integrate, and I will have to see as soon as I get into the patch, but, yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm taking, and then I'm taking the Patient Reaper, because that's the extra damage over time, and then I'll get the extra recovery of life, extra mana, extra energy shield, and all that stuff if I kill stuff with my power over time, or my damage over time. So because I'll be poisoning everything, I'm definitely going to be taking maximum use of this, and then I just grabbed extra energy shield, extra evasion, just because those are the things I'll be doing. I'll probably be running gear that's based off of just evasion and energy shield, with a lesser tone towards my energy shield, but higher towards my evasion and higher towards my a little bit more health. I'm taking about 104% increased health in total from this build. I'm grabbing as I look over at it, I'm grabbing 116% increased energy shield and 204% increased evasion. So I should be able to dodge a lot. I have a little bit of energy shield and I have health. So for chaos damage when it goes through, I still have health to be able to prevent that. So I chose not to run what did I just mess up? I chose not to run Valpact because one, I am running energy shield, but also because I wanted my life regen, because I didn't want to make this life regen that I gained from these nodes useless. Also, I feel like it's because I'm running both energy shield and life, it's not quite as important for me, because I'm not running a soul life build, it's not quite as important for me to have insta leech. I didn't feel like it was, because I also have energy shield buffering my health. So I felt like I took that into account, and then I'm also grabbing increased defenses for my shield, so I'm getting about 80% increased defenses. When I was making this build, I did debate between grabbing these 3 nodes, which are the increased physical damage and attack damage, and also strength and dexterity and intelligence dexterity. I debated on grabbing that over the extra defenses for my shield, as well as the 15 increased damage from while holding a shield, but overall I decided to just change that up and just grab the physical damage. And this is also the same with Ballistic Mastery, because again, Spectral Throw involves projectile damage, so any boosted projectile damage will also increase it. But I also just figured, if I just grab my physical damage from one-handed weapons, it'll be fine, and I'll still do a decent amount of damage, or a good amount of damage, based off of the actual damage from my tree and my chaos damage, and as well as my damage over time. So it's not really necessary for me to augment too much into projectile damage. It's better to just get the basic attack damage, and then I grab that extra projectile damage from there. So the last thing I haven't really fully looked into all the new skills that are released into 3.0, so there might be some better things to augment. I was looking through here a little bit, and I saw some new things along the lines of like lesser poison, which is lesser poison there. I wasn't sure what that was yet. There's a couple new decay type things So like deadly ailments, yeah, that was a couple new decays type things. So I'm really gonna be experimenting all of those when it comes to this build. But that's really what I'm headed with this Shadow Throw build. So again, as always, thank you guys for watching my video. And once again, shout out to HS as well as Victor Fatal for showing me this program, or recommending this program. I'm gonna continue doing build theories into 3.0 patch. I might be a little bit off with a couple of them because I will be doing also my playthrough of the new game, as well as really focusing this time. This time my focus really is to reach endgame and really start clearing like endgame maps. I only ended up running about tier 6s, tier 7s towards the end of the Legacy League, and I really want to get into the full of it. And it's because I'm hopped into the middle of a league, and now I'm getting the chance to play out through a full league. I feel like I'm definitely going to have the chance to do that. So I'm going to be really enjoying the game, and I'm really sitting down and grinding out levels. So I hope to see you all in the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this build theory, and as always, be sure to leave any thoughts or comments you have on the build or anything like that in the comments below. I will always check them and I'll always respond to them. So I will catch you all later in the next video, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Nuie out. Heaven sent my residence is evident, just visiting, blending.